Everyone has tragedies in life, but that's what makes you different. Whatever problems you may have that day, I get it. Yeah, we had a fire, but I was thinking of my customer. I need to keep my customer base. Everyone that's your customer, you want to still keep them and make them happy.
So the big question is this: how can small business owners like us in the floral industry overcome the greed of order gatherers and bypass the deceitful games played by wire services? How do we market, sell, and deliver flowers online so we may break free from these antiquated practices and earn our freedom? Those are some of the questions we will answer on this podcast. I'm Joe Vega. Welcome to Flower Shop Secrets. Watch now on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell for new episodes. What's up, everybody? This is Joe Vega, and welcome to another Flower Shop Secret podcast. And today, I'll be speaking with Nicholas Flouskakos from Country Arts and Flowers in West Hempstead, New York. Welcome to the show, Nicholas.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me, Joe.
You're very welcome. It's a pleasure. Can you tell us a little bit about your backstory? How did you get started in the floral industry?
Well, I got started in the floral industry in 1989. Got into the flower business with my brother. We bought our first flower shop in the town that we're actually in right now. In 1989, there was a couple that was retiring, and it was introduced to us to buy this place by a friend of she wasn't my wife at the time, by her family. We were out at a barbecue with my wife-to-be, and her neighbors were florists. And they had indicated they couldn't understand why I wasn't in the flower business if my dad was in the flower business. And I said, well, I went to college. I had a degree. I was working towards my master's in finance. And it was just something that I did while I was going through high school and college. Well, high school, college, elementary school, all I knew what to do was work in a flower shop. So it wasn't a career path that I had actually chosen to take. But things turn out in life that you really don't expect. And my brother and I ended up buying a flower shop in 1989 that was recommended to us. And 2 years later, we bought our second flower shop. And then a few years after that, we decided we wanted to buy another flower shop. We just kept on striving. We both knew the business. We both worked at my parents' store. And my parents had a small store, maybe 400 square feet in a very busy area in Queens, in Flushing, New York. And my father did very well for himself. He was also in business with his brother. And, we looked at it as, we can do something on our own that will be ours. We won't have to work for someone else. We'll be working for ourselves. And we followed that path in life.
That's terrific. So you're second generation florist. What was your experience like growing up with a father in the floral industry? What did you learn from him?
Hard work. That's what I learned. Nothing is ever easy. And I just remember my dad working 7 days a week at the flower shop, having an occasional day off. And that was always instilled in me. And in order to become successful, you need to work hard, or you didn't leave anything up to chance. Where people say sometimes you need luck to be successful. I believe that, but I also believe that you really have to work hard.
Yes, I couldn't agree with you more. A lot of people nowadays, they believe that if they have the skill sets and they have the talent, and even if they have the money to start a business, that it'll just work. And they don't realize that you need to have the grit to actually make it work.
Right, right. Totally agree with you there.
So what are the three big changes you've noticed in the floral industry from when your father ran a flower shop to today with your flower shop?
Well, back then when my dad was in the flower business, florists sold flowers. They were the only ones that sold flowers. You didn't have the type of competition that you have today. You can buy flowers anywhere. You can buy flowers at a gasoline station. You can buy flowers at Home Depot. You can buy flowers at a bodega. You can buy flowers at a supermarket. Back in the day, back in the 70s and early 80s, the only place you can buy flowers from was from a flower shop. And people just have so many choices now that things are harder. Things are a lot harder, but then again, there are also more opportunities right now to do even better. So people are more educated, and you just gotta stand apart from the crowd somehow.
Right. Well, it sounds like there's a ton of competition out there. As
Mhm.
that's the major difference. So how do you stand up from the crowd?
The customer knows what they want, and you got to make sure that you can deliver to the customer what they're looking for. Again, they have so many choices. You just have to keep on catering to a customer, and you have to be willing to change with the environment. You can't take your customer for granted. And if you realize you can't take your customer for granted, you just have to you have to grow. You have to watch the trends. You got to see what people are buying. You got to stay involved in your business, because if you don't stay involved in your business, it's just going to go right by the wayside. You got to follow the trends. You got to read trade magazines, see what people are doing, see what people are buying, because business changes, business evolves, and it's just not the same. It's like that in any type of business.
Right.
You try to stay ahead of the curve.
So what it's like, being in business or having a business partner that is your brother, like how's that family dynamics like?
Family dynamics. That's very interesting. And people go, "You guys never had a fight. You never get at it." I am the oldest. I am the oldest in the family. My brother is the youngest in the family. There's a 4-year age difference, and you know something. We have our differences, but at the end, we're family.
Right.
So yin and yang. He does certain things that I can't do. I do certain things that he can't do. I'm better at certain things. He's better at other things. And when we both recognized that, we knew that we could be successful. I can't do everything, and he can't do everything. We try to do the best with it.
Right. Well, you're stronger together for sure. It seems like you guys complement each other very well.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I think you need that in business too. You can't have two similar personalities running a business. We are similar in our drive. We're both driven men. We're both goal oriented.
Would you recommend for two brothers or two sisters to get in business together?
Would I recommend that? Why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah.
It's still family. If you have communication, of course you can. It doesn't work for everyone, but it's worked for us. So I can only speak for ourselves. I
Right.
can't speak for anybody else. So
Yeah. So something interesting happened to your shop in 2020. I mean, this story is insane, but you had a fire at your shop. Can you talk about that a little bit?
sure I can. A week after Mother's Day, May 17th, I get a phone call at 4:30 in the morning, and they're telling me that my store is on fire. I thought it was a prank phone call.
Mm.
I get another phone call from the alarm company about 10 minutes later, indicating that your store is on fire. So I went into my car, went to my store, and sure enough, I see 125 firemen from like the surrounding towns trying to put out a trying to put out a fire at our flower shop. And wow, it was surreal. It was something that I never would have expected in my life. We've gone through so many different things, but I just never expected our store to be on fire.
So what caused the fire and what actually ended up getting burned, or like what was the story there?
The story there is that it was arson. The person was apprehended a week later. It was just arbitrary. The person was responsible for 10 fires from March 16th until May 17th. We also have cameras outside of our store, and all the other businesses that were targeted in the last 2 months, they were able to put something together, and the person was apprehended a week and a half after our fire, actually trying to put another business on fire. It was just a
What?
It was our lucky day. Our lucky day.
So he would just pick any business?
Just any business. The person that put a fire to a car wash, a nail salon, a restaurant, a deli. They were all small rubbish fires, fires that were put out. Our fire, they put a cardboard box on fire. under one of our vans. It exploded. Then the next van went up, and then the building just kind of went up. And yeah, we had a total loss. Our building was burned down. We're still not in our location yet.
Oh,
So,
wow. So you basically had to reopen in another location?
yes, we did. Yeah, what we did is the day of the fire, while the fire was burning, my brother and I are thinking, well, there's like 6 casket pieces in our back refrigerator that had to be delivered the next day. And we're like, what are we going to do? I go, we're going to get them delivered. We're going to get them done.
Wow.
It's like we do a lot of business with the funeral homes in the area. People know us. We're an established business, been there over 70 years. And we have close ties with a lot of people in the industry, and there were many people that just offered to come and work out of their flower shops until we caught our bearings and started, rebuilding. And a friend had asked us, you can work out of my store. Now, we used to own his flower shop 25 years ago before we bought this current location. So it was more of a natural fit. We knew the store. So we started working out of his store. The day after the fire, we were able to deliver our 6 casket pieces that were sitting in the back, because back then was, in the midst of COVID, funeral homes were just doing an arrangement, no viewings, no nothing, going straight to the church. So we were still doing some sort of funeral work. And we were working out of his store, and, I'll give him a shout out. His name is Billy Kontopoulos from New Hyde Park Florist. Great guy. And, we didn't miss a beat. We had a devastating fire, but we were still in business the next day. And we were able to save all our computers, all our records, our hard drive. And I have a very close friend who's in the computer industry, was able to save everything. So our computers were up and running the next day. So we just had to explain to our customer base that we were working from a remote location until we set ourselves up in another store for the time being. So we were at my friend Billy's store from May 18th until July 15th. And we had rented a spot across the street from our original location, Country Arts and Flowers. So we were working out of a store in a shopping center. So things have been good considering, going through COVID, and, business has been off because we're not doing the weddings or the parties that we used to do. We're okay. We're okay. Yeah. We're in a lot better condition than a lot of other flower shops are in. So
that's an amazing story. I mean, Billy definitely deserves a shout out for sure. And the fact that you still managed to deliver those flowers, that says a lot. Not everybody would do that.
Well, listen, again, everyone has tragedies in life, but that's what makes you different, I believe, from someone else. You still have to deliver. If someone's paid for a product, you have to deliver it. Whatever problems you may have that day, I get it. Yeah, we had a fire, but I was thinking of my customer. I need to keep my customer base. We've established a great customer base, and, things are rough, and things are rough with COVID, but everyone that's your customer, you want to still keep them and make them happy.
Right. How did the customers understand? Did they get it?
The customers have been so understanding, so supportive. The whole community of West Hempstead, they all reached, all the organizations in West Hempstead, they all reached out to us. We were, my brother and I were like, wow, they made a great impression on us, but we've also made an impression on them too. We've been there for them, and they're there for us. So that's community. I feel like it's family. Everyone was very, very supportive. Very supportive.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing to see. I mean, florists are, a staple of everyone's community, of the community itself. And when something actually bad happens like that, it's such a great story to hear the community actually take care of you guys as well, and being understanding with all that.
They were very supportive. And again, we ran our business like we were still running it out of our own location. There was nothing too small for us to do or nothing too large for us to do. We just kept on continuing doing business as we were in our original location, where our original location was a 3,000 square foot building.
Mm.
And the place that we've rented now is 1,000 square feet, which is other challenges, especially going through, Valentine's Day. But we've been able to overcome them, and then we can get back to our old location, bigger and better than what we were before.
Wow. So overall, though, how did you maintain customer engagement when your back office is such in a state of change? Did you place extra focus on customer engagement? What did you do?
Extra focus on just customer service. We were doing a lot more business on the internet. And, just by looking at I'm sure you can see a lot of our reviews too. It just said, listen, every order that we're getting in through the internet, every order that we're getting through Lovingly, you better make sure that it exceeds the customer's expectations. Because this is what people read. This is the era that we live in. People look at reviews, and reviews are very, very important. And just because we had a fire and then we're out of commission for a little while, we need to keep our customer base. We can't take it for granted that we've built a great business. Okay, so we had a fire, so now we can take the foot off the gas, and when everything is fixed, we can get back to normal again. No, you just got to keep on striving. You got to keep on pushing.
In terms of being a florist, what's your favorite part of being a florist?
Dealing with people. I love dealing with my customers. I've become friends with many of my customers. I like people. I still, I have no problem talking to people. I have no problem asking them about their lives. Just that extra touch. You just personalize things a little bit more. That's all. I'm there every day. My brother is there every day. We're both hands-on owners. So, we're still engaged with our customers.
You make it personal, right? You want to give that extra touch. You want to be able to make sure that it's all about the entire experience, not just the flowers or the delivery. Does that sound right?
Definitely. That's what's going to pull you apart, from everyone else. And again, I know customers by first name, many customers by first name. And I think people want that. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for a more personal touch. Like we discussed before, you can do anything you want now. You can buy flowers from anywhere. But the people that are looking for that personal touch, we are that personal touch florist, as cliche-ish as it may sound. I do believe that.
That's fantastic. What part of it seems like the best part of the part that brings you the most joy is obviously just those personal connections then.
That is correct. Yeah, I believe that. And most of them have been all good. All good.
Which part of the business is your responsibility?
I take care of more of the business aspect. Mm-hmm. And my brother does a lot of the backroom stuff. My brother's the one, quality control, just dealing with a lot of the other stuff that I don't deal with. We both deal with the same stuff, but Tommy's more quality control. Tommy's the one that makes sure that the store is run properly, efficiently. My brother's very big in organization, and he set in his way in the way things are run. He believes in an organizational model, that this is the model that works. This is the model that we're using. Efficiency, being that both brothers, we both actually we're hands-on workers. We're running a store that at one point that you would normally need 10 people running a place like this. There's like 6 of us at the moment right now. So because we're both still working, we're both, we're both, one of us, we have a full-time driver, helpers, this and that, but we have no problem jumping on a truck, doing that extra delivery that hasn't been done, or someone that called in for something late in the day. We're cleaning flowers. We look at every single flower that comes in every single day, and we're also the ones putting it in buckets. We're helping our employees in a sense that, when we have like 40 or 50 arrangements that need to be done that have to be delivered by 1 o'clock, we're filling up their buckets with flowers that all they need to do is just design a beautiful arrangement. So we're taking away a lot of the steps from them to make us more efficient. So we're just producing a lot more work with a lot less people, and we know exactly what's going out. We know every customer. I see every customer's order. I wrap orders. My brother wraps orders. Everybody's helping each other. Everybody's job is basically interchangeable. My designers will pick up the phone and take orders. They'll design. So everybody's, we all multitask in there.
That's great. And it must be so influential in a positive way for your staff to see you, the owners, actually roll up their sleeves and actually work side by side with them.
We know no other way. I believe that's one of the main reasons why I believe that's why we're successful, because we work. And all my employees, we can't do what we do without employees, and we have good employees. We surround ourselves with successful people and people that want to learn, people that want to enhance themselves also. So it's, we're all striving towards a certain goal.
How do you balance the following? Because when you're working in your business, it's very difficult to work on your business. So when you're that involved, how do you still see the big picture?
The big picture is just staying successful. And I have no problem working hard. Again, like you want to take your foot off the gas just a little bit, just to relax and, catch your bearings. But I don't.
It just seems to work for you, right? I mean, plus you have your brother there, so it's not always
It's not
on.
It's not on one person. That's the whole thing. And again, that's why that's successful, is because there's two of us. Right. One person complements the other.
I mean, you're definitely in it for the right reasons, and you seem to care a ton. You and your brother seem to care a ton about your staff and your employees, but also your customers, the town, the community, and it's a great thing to see. Overall, I mean, it looks like you guys are doing a fantastic job. How have you been able to make up for the difference in revenue? Because as you said, the revenue from wire services has decreased over time. So how have you been able to actually, because a lot of shops haven't been able to actually make that change or adapt to that?
Our business is very well diversified. We're affiliated with 6 funeral homes in the area that we get constant work from. We do anywhere from 75 to 100 weddings a year. We're affiliated with several country clubs in the area too. We're also affiliated with a dozen churches. And we have a lot of commercial accounts still. So we have a lot of people that feed us a lot of business. And we're just fortunate that we're not concentrated or heavy in one industry. So like right now with COVID, all our party work and wedding work has been off, but we're still doing the funeral work. We're still doing, and I find people are spending more money on flowers.
Right.
People are sending out more flowers. Where in the past, it was just broken up differently. I find that, again, we've just been very fortunate that we have all these different revenue streams in the business and when they all click together, we're a very busy store. So.
Wow. So it seems like desertification is a huge part of your strategy, right? How could florists, develop those relationships with those other businesses?
Well, we were fortunate in the business that we have right now, Country Arts and Flowers. We just deal with, when we had purchased the place, it was considered a carriage trade. In other words, that most of our customers that we had were wealthy customers. And we also heard from a lot of people in the industry that you may not be able to run your business model with these type of customers. And I just didn't understand the fact that, that the former owner just did business differently than what we did. And wanted more of a diversification. He just basically did parties and weddings, and that was it. I just wanted to start doing all the other stuff in the flower business that he didn't do. And we were able to enlarge it in that aspect. As before, when we bought it, it was basically known as a big wedding store. They did a lot of high-end weddings. They did a lot of high-end parties. And my brother and I had the background of working from a mom and pop flower shop. Well, let's bring all the other areas of the business into this too. The funeral work also, he didn't, from what I understand, he didn't do much in funeral work. And we've developed all these relationships with all the funeral homes in the area. And again, they feed us our business.
Are you getting more growth by working with businesses versus focusing solely on customers?
The majority of your revenue is coming from funeral homes as opposed to your customers. Again, we have affluent customers that own businesses that send flowers to other people. But when you're dealing with funeral homes, you're dealing with them on a daily basis. So they're feeding you work. And if you have 5 or 6 funeral homes, you multiply that by a few a day. So you have that type of exposure in the market, and then other people, and then again, other people see your work, and we're getting customers left and right saying, I saw your flowers at a wake that I went to, and I had to call you up, and then they're becoming our customers.
Right. So if you were on stage talking to a bunch of florists, and you had one single message to tell them, what would you say to them?
Do work that you care about. Just make sure what you're doing, make sure you like what you're doing in any type of business, not just in the flower business. And hopefully you try to surround yourself with good people, because you can't do it all by yourself.
Right.
And just believe in your goals.
You need to be passionate about it.
That's it. Be passionate about what you want to do.
Absolutely. In terms of hiring a good staff, hiring a good team is vital. It's incredibly important for any business owner, right? How do you attract and keep the talents that you have?
That's interesting. When we first bought the business that we're in, Country Arts and Flowers, I bought the business and I kept his old crew. He had a crew of 8 people, and I just started realizing, but this is not what I want. This is not what I need. It was time to make changes. So in 1 year, I just hired my own crew. I just hired people with the same vision that I had. I also hired people that had a knowledge of a business, like a flower business, just the dynamics of how a flower business works. And my first hires in my store were a former business owner, another young lady whose family was entrenched in the flower business, and these people just knew the dynamics of working in busy stores, knew the dynamics of owning their own business. And these employees stayed with me until they retired. And then everyone that I hire, when I hire someone, I need to know that they have more than 10 years experience. I need someone that's been experienced working in a store that's busy. I'm not looking for an employee that's worked at one location. Again, you're also looking for people that have the same type of mindset that you have. It's hard. It's just hard finding good employees.
Yeah.
Finding good employees.
Absolutely. It's you said a magic keyword right then. That's mindset. Mindset is so important. Like if you need to, for example, I like to work with people who have a growth mindset. Right. And that's really important if you want to grow your business. So I couldn't agree with you more. How important is the online, your website or the online channel for you guys right now?
Well, that's been growing the last 3 years, and I've been watching the growth. You got to keep paying attention. You got to keep on paying attention because, again, customers can go anywhere. They're fickle, but they're also loyal too. So if you keep on doing the right thing by, your customer, he will remain your customer. And, I pay a lot of attention to our website, a lot of attention. And we just, again, we try to exceed the customer's expectations, and most of our reviews are also showing that wow, customer service too. A lot of customers are also impressed by our turnaround time. They give us an order at 9:30 and it's delivered by 1 o'clock in the afternoon if it's for same day delivery. So I monitor that very, very carefully.
So what do you like to do for fun? How do you guys unwind after a busy holiday, after like, a long, hard day of work? What do you do to unwind?
What do I do to unwind? Well, I'm in Florida right now, so I'm actually unwinding. It's a few weeks after, almost a few weeks after Valentine's Day, but I like to get away. I like to unwind. I like to travel. You know, I, I like going to the gym and working out 3-4 days a week to blow off steam. But I love traveling. I love traveling with my wife. I enjoy gardening. I enjoy golf. But yeah, that's how I unwind.
That's fantastic. Nicholas, thank you so much for joining me today from Country Arts and Flowers in West Hempstead, New York. Where can people find you online?
countryartsandflowers.com.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Joe. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
We want to help your business bloom. Check out more episodes of Flower Shop Secrets. Watch now on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell for new episodes.